Here are the headlines of this hour. Director of Operations at Kaduna Geographic Information Service, Dauda Anchau, is assassinated. Supreme Court voids Executive Order 10 giving state judiciary autonomy. Spinal cord injury patient suffering in silence. And U.S. President Joe Biden signs order to unfreeze Afghan funds for aid and victims of September 11 attacks. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Zainab Bala. Hello and welcome. Now, gunmen in the early hours of Friday assassinated the Director of Operations of the Kaduna Geographic Information Service, Dauda Anchau. The district head of the community, Muhammad Abdullahi, who confirmed the incident, said the divisional police officers of Rigachikun and Barnawa, who are residents of the community, have visited the scene of the crime. Reports say the gunmen, numbering about 5, breached the security of the victim's house located in Barakallahu community in Igabi local government area of the state, where they killed and took off the leaving all valuables in the house. According to reports, the suspects attacked a nearby community, possibly to divert the attention of members of the community as they conducted the Aniforous Act. However, no casualty in the other attack. The district head also called on the state government to mediate between the community and the NAF over the vast land, which he said is a hiding place for criminals. Still ahead, policemen and a motorcyclist have been confirmed dead after armed robbers attacked a bullion van conveying money from a bank on Iwo Road to the Idiape area of Ibadan, Oyo State. The State Commissioner of Police, Ngozi Onadeko, confirmed the incident to journalists, describing the attack as a coordinated one. Reports say the armed men attacked the bullion van heading towards the area of Ibadan in a Toyota Sienna, overtook the van and opened fire on the occupants and the police escorts, while the escorts engaged the robbers in a shootout. The hoodlums outnumbered the operatives and killed 2 of them. Meanwhile, the police also neutralized one of the hoodlums, while many others escaped with multiple gunshot injuries. During the shootout, also some residents at the scene sustained gunshot injuries in their vehicles, and those who managed to escape from their vehicles hid inside the drainage. Supreme Court on Friday declared the Executive Order 10, which President Muhammadu Buhari issued on the funding of state judiciary and legislature, illegal. The Apex Court, in a split decision by 7-member panel of justices, held that President Buhari acted beyond his statutory powers. The judgment followed a suit filed by 36 states of the Federation, while 6 justices upheld the suit. A member of the panel dismissed it. It will be recalled that President Buhari had an executive order signed on May 2022 mandated that all states to include allocations of both the legislature and the judiciary in their appropriation laws in compliance with Section 121, subsection 3 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, Hapchuk Azu is Daily Trust Head of Judiciary, and he joins us to give perspectives on this judgment. Hello, Chuks. We still have a little technical hitches there, but we're going to move on now. It is good news for the Nigerian law graduates as a bill seeking for the establishment of 6 more campuses passed second reading in the Senate. Until now, campuses in Lagos, Abuja, Kano, Yola and Port Harcourt accommodate the rising number of law students in the country. The report.
In March 2021 alone, about 4,350 law students were called to bar by the body of benchers, the legal body of practitioners which oversees the process. This new set takes the total number of lawyers produced in the country to about 197,015. Still in year 2020, about 1,785 students passed the bar examination. Report shows that since inception of the school in 1962, a total of 190,000 lawyers were registered as at the year 2019. This figure was captured in a policy book of the 2019 Annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association. Year in, year out, more and more law graduates are turned out from home and abroad. The call for 6 more law school campuses is therefore considered apt by the Nigerian Senate. The approval of the 6 new law school campuses followed the consideration of a report by the Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters chaired by Senator Opeyemi Bamidele. This comes as a bill for an act to amend the legal education and other legal matters scaled through second reading. Senator Opeyemi, in his presentation, observed that the new law campuses has become necessary as there's huge number of law graduates from home and abroad with no corresponding law school campuses to accommodate them.
Nigerian Law School is being regulated by the Council by virtue of the powers conferred on it. Therefore, this proposed bill is intended to ensure that creation of additional campuses should be well guided and on need basis, and not at the discretion of certain authorities. 3, that in view of the exponential increase in the number of law school graduates from our universities and even foreign universities, coupled with backlog that existed over the years, this legislative intervention measure is not only apt and timely, but paramount. 4, that without prejudice to the establishment of the law school campus in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, the provision for additional campuses in the 6 geopolitical zones of the Federation in this bill is appropriate, as it has not tampered with the 7 existing campuses established by administrative responsibilities of the Council of Legal Education.
The new campuses are Kaba Law School Campus, Kogi, Maiduguri Law School Campus, Maiduguri, Arigungu Law School Campus, Kebbi, Okija Law School Campus, Anambra. Others are Orogun Law School Campus, Ekiti, and Jos Law School Campus, Jos. Opeyemi therefore urged the federal government to provide the necessary infrastructure for the new law campuses to take off in the interest of all Nigerians.
So, Daily Trust Judiciary, Head of Judiciary, Chuks Azu, is here with us in the studio, to give us perspectives, on the executive order that has been declared void, by the Supreme Court. Hello and welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right. So now what happens now that the executive order 10 has been declared void by the Supreme Court?
Yeah, the judgment of the Supreme Court today has restored the status quo antebellum, which was what the governors of the 36 states intended to achieve. And of course, they also were seeking to see if there could be funding for capital projects in state courts. Already they were doing recurrent and some capital projects in lower courts, like magistrates, area courts, and other. But they have succeeded to say that the federal government cannot impose an executive order 10 on them. They have succeeded with that, but we are still at status quo. The autonomy of the judiciary is still not being enforced so far.
Okay. In May 2022, the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation had said that the President's action was in compliance with Section 12, subsection 3 of the Constitution, and, other laws are applicable to provide financial autonomy to states. Then why are we seeing this at this time?
Yeah, what the federal government tried to do with that executive order, a lot of analysts, senior lawyers like Femi Falana and the rest, say that it is not the way to go in a federal system of government. It looks more like a convenient and simplistic way of enforcing a structured or federal system of government, because it's a holistic thing, not just some piecemeal kind of. That executive order was born out of the desire of the federal government to ensure that the judiciary is free from, monies allocated to states having not been credited directly as provided under Section 121(3) of the Nigerian Constitution. They were trying to do that, but of course, with what analysts and now the Supreme Court has held, whatever was the patriotic intention cannot overstep, according to the language of the Supreme Court.
Right.
Trying to do that was to overstep the powers of the president at the federal level because of the strict federal provisions of the Constitution.
Okay, so are there implications for this?
The implication is that what is going on, like I said, the status quo will remain, which is that monthly allocations from FARC goes to the states, and then the states will then call the heads of judiciary in their states to discuss needs basis. Okay, we need high courts here, we need residential buildings for judges, we need the salaries and allowances, we need recruitment, all those recurrent and overhead costs will continue to be agreed upon between the states and the heads of courts. But in the course of our political evolution, if we arrive at the level where the autonomy is guaranteed, which is by constitutional amendment, proper, federal amendment, then the judiciary will be totally different from, the state governments in terms of going to sit down to discuss the needs for an annual financial year. But unfortunately, we are still there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on News Update. We've been talking to Chuks Azu. He's the Daily Trust head of judiciary, and he's given us perspectives on the executive order that has been declared void by the Supreme Court. Now, still ahead, seizure of 2 government properties in Choice area in Abuja by the Assets Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, over indebtedness of Shonga Farm Holdings is igniting reaction from Kwara State government, saying it will scrutinize all the necessary documents connected to government properties sold by the past administration for diligent prosecution. Former Governor Bukola Saraki established Shonga Farms under his Agriculture Revolution program.
17,000 hectares of land is earmarked for the farm project. Zimbabwean farmers were allocated 13,000 hectares of the land. However, the farm is now under scrutiny by the current government after AMCON seized government properties because of the indebtedness of the farm.
So as of today, they have sold 9. Yes, they have sold 9 of the farms. 9 out of 13 farms. So even if Kwara goes ahead to pay this debt, you'll be paying for 4 farms. Kwara will be paid, the claim in court is 1.7 billion. That's what AMCON is claiming. Now, what we are trying to do is to get across to AMCON and see how we can salvage Kwara's property. Because we cannot say because these people have scammed Kwara, then the property will go. No.
Government officials say Kwara has not benefited from the farm despite investing more than 5 billion naira in the farm. They claim that what the people of Kwara State have in return from the farm is debt upon debt and now seizure of properties in choice areas in Abuja.
And these farming entities were actually categorized into 3 major subsectors of the agribusiness value chain. One sector is the dairy, another sector is the cropping, and the third sector is the poultry. Now, for each of the 13 Zimbabwean farmers that were brought in, who were handed over each of those companies with investments in hundreds of millions, records shows very clearly that they invested not a penny. They came into Nigeria and into Kwara State with not a single amount of money, either in Naira-denominated investment or in foreign currency denominated investment. And so basically what we have and which we have inherited both from the previous administration and from the previous management of Shonga Farm Holding Company is what we refer to as an equity participation agreement.
The state government is now dusting its papers to begin diligent prosecution of what it calls the Shonga Farm scam.
3 approaches. One is the business angle, the other one is the legal angle. Because we cannot sit down, so we are taking steps to approach the court to let the court see the reasons why in the first time that order ought not have been made, so that the court can set it aside. But that will not solve the problem, because the problem remains that Shonga Farm Holdings, which has yielded no benefit to anybody in Kwara State, remains part and parcel of this failure.
According to the state government, there are other options being considered to ensure that state funds did not go down the drains.
Spinal cord injury is gradually becoming a common problem in Nigeria, with over 100,000 cases recorded every year, mostly from accidents. There are over 1,000 reported cases of spinal cord injury in Katsina State. Abdullahi Ahmadi meets Aisha Mohammed, one of the patients with spinal cord injuries, suffering in silence.
Aisha Mohammed Philium Polo Quarters in Katsina Metropolis is one of the hundreds of unfortunate victims of spinal cord injury in Katsina State. This young lady has been suffering in pains since 2019 when she had an accident inside her toilet. The unlucky Aisha was taken to native doctors for treatment, but instead of getting what she bargained for, they further compounded her problems. The native doctor later discovered that the condition of Aisha Mohammed is beyond him and advised for diagnosis and treatment in a specialist hospital. It was when the young lady was taken to Orthopedic Hospital Dala, Kano, it was discovered that she had a severe spinal cord injury and advised for immediate surgery, therapy, medications and other palliatives. Life with spinal cord injury is unbearable, but I have to endure it. This injury is traumatic. There are instances I cannot sleep. I can't help myself. I need support and assistance of everybody. In fact, it is a new life experience. Though, according to experts, spinal cord injury can hardly be cured. It can be a lifelong trauma, but Aisha Mohammed is keeping hope high that she can be cured and get married later in her life. In fact, the condition of Aisha Mohammed is deteriorating by the day, as she neither pees nor urinates by herself. She also requires the support of her sisters or stepmother anytime she wants to bathe or answer the call of nature. According to medical bills from Dala Orthopedic Hospital, Kano, Aisha Mohammed requires the sum of 2 million naira to undergo surgery and other medications to save her dear life. For over 3 years since Aisha had this spinal cord injury, her father, who is a pensioner, was only able to receive 500,000 naira from Katsina State government and 120,000 naira from individuals as donations, part of which is being used for the upkeep of the patient on other drugs. Aisha's father, Alhaji Muhammad, said since the unfortunate incidents in 2019, they were having sleepless nights as she cries day and night as a result of severe pains.
And we took her to orthopedic hospital here in Katsina. From there they refer us to National Orthopedic Hospital Dala, Kano. There they give us estimate of 2 million. The little we have, the state government have donated 500,000. Then individuals help us. We have about 120,000. So up till now, we are still looking forward to good people of this country to please come to our aid and help us.
The stepmother to the patients, Hajia Aisha, calls for support from individuals, corporate bodies to save the dear life of Aisha Mohammed. Aisha has been suffering in pains since 2019. Before now, we did not even know what happened to her until when we took her to Orthopedic Hospital, Kano, and the money is beyond our capacity. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Coming up, brewing impeachment moves in the air. Do stay.
Should we be looking forward to your candidacy in 2023?
Don't join politics as a contestant. Otherwise, you will be terribly disappointed. Maybe you will end up being somebody whose only role in the party is to contest the election. It doesn't work that way. You see, you join politics because you have conviction that if you have an opportunity, you will make life better for everybody.
Is the Kosia still in the PDP, or is it in the APC, or is it in a political limbo?
We are in the party. We have pointed out areas of concern to everybody concerned. Our prayer and hope is that people will see reason and address those issues.
All right, welcome back. If you are just joining us, it is Trust TV News Update, our top stories. Gunmen in the early hours of Friday assassinated the Director of Operations of the Kaduna Geographic Information Service, Dauda Anchau. Supreme Court on Friday declared the Executive Order 10, which President Muhammadu Buhari issued on the funding of state judiciary and legislature, illegal. Still ahead, a group of concerned Nigerian leaders from across the various zones in the country have formed a coalition aimed at addressing the various issues which have plagued the nation for years. They say the myriad of challenges which Nigeria currently faces is as a result of its lack of unity and understanding between the various ethnic groups in the country.
A unity to make everybody satisfied, because we are not willing to fight with anybody.
Our association is standing for the entire Nigeria. For us to learn how to count Nigeria first before any other thing, and to see ourselves as brothers, enclosed into an enclave called a nation that we know as Nigeria.
Yes.
And once we know that thing, there will be no problem whatsoever. Even the election you are talking about will go very well. We are still going to visit the 6 geopolitical zones. Equally visit all those the cultural organizations, for us to parley with them, to understand first of all what is this very problem that we have not solved, that keep making us not to be like United States of America.
Back in Abuja, the Center for Environmental Sustainability and Development Awareness, CESDA, says it will be deploying observers across all wards in the Federal Capital Territory to monitor the February 12th area council election. Executive Director of the Center, Olushola Babalola, also noted that it is keen on ensuring that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, lives up to its mandate by ensuring a free and transparent election through the deployment of the bimodal voters accreditation system, upload of election results on the INEC result viewing portal, as well as other technologies.
Opportunity to call on FCT voters to go to the polls confidently with the assurance that their vote will count. Furthermore, we appeal to FCT people to work together to ensure that election reflects the will of the people.
In the last few weeks, consistently they have been telling us that they are going to deploy beavers, and results will be transmitted, from polling unit directly, to their server. So we are waiting for them. We are looking out, to actually see that happening on Saturday.
This election is very critical to the original inhabitants, because right now they have their power to elect who they want to the position.
For the ladies out there, do not feel marginalized. Go out and participate. We have equal rights just like the male gender. We should be involved more in elections. For the youth, please make sure that you do not make yourself an available tool for these politicians to use. It is just an election.
We are also very emphatic on the rights and the responsibilities of the original inhabitants of the FCT. If at the level of a council election you are not coming out to participate, then you are also sending a message subtly that you are not ready to participate at the higher level?
In this time and age where evil showmakers have access to social media, we are still waiting for a law that will guarantee INEC to transmit election results electronically.
Zamfara State House of Assembly has directed the State Chief Justice Kulu Aliyu to constitute investigate panel to investigate the allegations against Deputy Governor of the state Mahadi Gusau. 18 members out of 22 members of the State Assembly unanimously endorsed the resolution to direct the Chief Judge of Zamfara State, Justice Kulu Aliyu, to constitute a panel to investigate the Deputy Governor on alleged breach of the Constitution, gross misconduct and self-enrichment. 3 members of the State Assembly were, however, absent at the extraordinary plenary session. The report.
The Deputy Speaker of the State Assembly and Chairman House Committee on Public Account, Honorable Musa Bawa, representing Safe East constituency, moved the motion for the investigation of the State Deputy Governor during the extraordinary plenary session. Yusuf Al-Hassan, representing Maru North constituency, seconded the motion. The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Nasiru Muazu, after the voting, ruled that their action is in line with sections 188 and 199 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. He said he will forward to the Chief Judge of the state, Justice Kulu Aliyu, the resolution of the Assembly to constitute a panel to investigate the allegations against the Deputy Governor, Mahadi Gusau.
Having concluded the voting done by the Clerk of the House, who was assisted by Deputy Clerk as well as Director Legislative Matters, the honorable members that are here, anomalously their votes are saying aye. So having satisfied the requirement of the law under section 198 of 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, I will formally forward request to His Lordship Chief Judge of the State to constitute panel in order to investigate the alleged Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, Barrister Mahadi Gusau.
Zamfara State House of Assembly has 24 members, out of which 2 died, bringing the number to 22. Only 1 member, Salisu Zurmi, remained in the People's Democratic Party, PDP, with the Deputy Governor, Mahadi Gusau.
And that's it on News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. Do stay tuned.